Carl Edwards took the checkered flag, but Jimmie Johnson captured his record-tying third straight NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship in Sunday's season-ending Ford 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Edwards dominated Sunday's 2008 finale and nursed his fuel load in the closing laps to score his 9th win of the season. But Johnson was able to notch a 15th place finish and finish the year 69 points ahead of Edwards for his third straight title. His championship ties the mark set by Cale Yarborough, who won 3 straight championships from 1976 through 1978.
I just don't have words to express how proud I am of this race team, how thankful I am of this opportunity to drive for Hendrick Motorsports, the sport of Lowe's, and to do this together with them since the start in 2002. To be with Chad through the start of this deal since 2002 and drive his race cars is a great honor. So I'm just lost for words on the whole experience. It's been awfully amazing.
Edwards had the day's most dominant car and passed his Roush Fenway Racing teammate Matt Kenseth with 3 laps to go for the lead and eventual win. As many of the front-runners pitted for fuel in the final laps, Edwards was able to coast his way to a series-leading 9th victory of the year.
Tonight was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we won the race so that we can go into the off-season knowing that we won more races than anyone else in this series. I think that's a big accomplishment, especially considering how well Jimmy and Kyle both ran all season. So that feels good, and knowing how well we ran, it gives me a lot of confidence for next season. So a good weekend. You know, second in both series is not first, but it's definitely not something to be ashamed of. I'm proud of what we did this year.
Kevin Harvick finished second to end the season with 19 top 10 finishes.
I know we didn't win this year, but it's by far the best 10 races at the end of the year we've had. And I think we were like an 8.5 or 9 average finish, and still came up, I don't know, whatever the math is there, 200 and some points short. So that just tells you how good of a year that the 48 had, and you know, I feel good about where we were the last 10 weeks.
Jamie McMurray capped off a strong finish to the season after he scored his 3rd consecutive third-place finish. Jeff Gordon finished 4th and led 16 laps, but came up short of keeping his streak of winning at least 1 race a season alive since 1993. Clint Boyer finished 5th and was followed by Casey Kane, Travis Kvapil, and Casey Mears. Tony Stewart made his final start for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team and was in the lead as the race wound down, but was forced to pit for fuel, ending his career with the team with a 9th-place finish. Martin Truex Jr. rounded out the top 10. Johnson will now be honored as the 2008 champion at the annual NASCAR Awards Banquet in New York City on Friday, December 5th. The 2009 season will kick off at Daytona International Speedway in February, and you can secure your seat to the event during Speed Weeks by visiting racetickets.com.